Hi friends, in today's lecture we will study the Maxifs and Minifs function in Microsoft Excel. So you can see that I have some data with me in which I have field headings like date, item names, brand and quantity. Now what I want to do is using the Maxif function, if I type a item name over here, which could be either keyboard or mouse or printer or monitor, whatever is the maximum quantity for that particular item should come here. Example, in this scenario you can see there is mouse 20. I will just change the color for you to understand it better. And then here also you have mouse, and here also you have mouse. So there are three locations where mouse is present, but out of these three locations the maximum quantity which is present is 60. Hence when you use Maxif function and you give the item name as mouse, you will get the quantity as 60, because among these three item names whose name is mouse, the maximum quantity is 60. Let us see for another example. So I will just reformat this back to the normal format, and this time I enter the name as keyboard. So you can see that you have one quantity of keyboard over here, and then there are two keyboards over here. So out of these three keyboards, the maximum quantity is in 80, so that should come here. So friends, in today's lecture we'll use Maxif function to identify the quantity, and later on I'll also show you how to use the Minifs function. So let me format this back to the normal format. So I'll erase this and let us type the Maxif function. So I type equal to Maxifs open parenthesis. Now it is asking me the max range. This is the first parameter, max range. So I select this, comma. Now it is asking me the criteria range. So the criteria range is this. This is my criteria range, comma. And now it is asking me what is the criteria which you want to search. So the criteria which I want to search is item. So I click on this heading item and I close the parenthesis and I hit enter. So you can see for keyboard, this is the keyboard, this is the keyboard, and this is the keyboard. The maximum quantity is 80. Just like you have the Maxif function, if alternately if you change the Maxif to Minifs, so whatever is the minimum quantity, that will now be displayed. So you can see out of the three keyboards, the minimum quantity is 10. So that is displayed. Now let us see a different scenario in which I want to use the Maxif function and find the maximum amount for a keyboard whose brand is XYZ. So you can see there are three locations where keyboard is present, but out of these three only two brands have XYZ, and the maximum out of these two brands is 70. So how do we get this? So now we are having two criteria to check. So let us see how to do this. So I'll delete this, and over here I will type equal to Maxifs open parenthesis. Now first it is asking me the max range. So the range which I want to find out. So this is my max range. comma. Now it is asking me criteria range 1. So my criteria range 1 is keyboard, is this item name, comma. Then it is asking me what is your criteria 1. So my criteria 1 is keyboard, comma. Now it is asking me criteria range 2. So this is criteria range 2, comma. Now it is asking me what is criteria 2. So my criteria 2 is brand H9. I close parenthesis and I hit enter. So you can see that for keyboard whose brand is XYZ, the maximum quantity is 70. Same way, instead of Maxifs, if I make it to Minifs, so whatever is the minimum quantity for keyboard whose brand is XYZ will be shown over here. So in these three scenarios, keyboard with brand XYZ only 2 are there and 10 is the lowest quantity. Now let us see the third scenario. In this third scenario, I want to find out the quantity for the item whose name is keyboard but which falls between these two dates, 2nd and 4th. So let me just make the format back to the normal format. And supposing I want to find out all those keyboards which are coming between 2nd January and 4th January. So there are only these two keyboards, and from these two keyboards whatever is the maximum quantity should come over here. So let us see how to use the Maxifs here. So I'll delete this and I will say equal to Maxifs. Now first it is asking me the max range, the range which I want to find out. So it is this, comma. Now it is asking me the criteria range 1, that is this date field, comma. Now it is asking me criteria 1. Remember, the criteria 1 would be greater than or equal to start date. So in quotation marks I will type greater than or equal to close quotation marks, then I will use the and symbol and I will click on start date. Then I give a comma. Now it is asking me criteria range 2. So this is my, again the date is my criteria range 2, comma. Now it is asking me criteria 2. So again in quotation marks I will type less than or equal to close quotation marks and symbol and I will click on end date. Okay. Now I also want to find out for a specific item also. So one more criteria. So again I give comma and it is asking me criteria range 3. So this is criteria range 3, comma, and then it is asking me which is your criteria 3. So my criteria 3 is over here. And then I close parenthesis and I hit enter. So you can see that between 2nd January and 4th January for the item whose name is keyboard, the maximum quantity is 80. And same way, instead of Maxifs, if you use Minifs, then within that two dates, whichever is the lowest will come over here, and that is 70. So friends, hope you have learned two new functions of Excel. Keep in mind these functions Maxifs and Minifs are available from Excel 2019 onwards. Hope you have learned something new, and if you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Till that time, goodbye.